Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. Very much appreciate you tuning in here on Monday, Fun Day, Gun Day. Got a lot to talk about, and only got a little bit of time to talk with you about it today. So we're going to jump right into the program. Before we do, got to make sure, give a shout out to those sponsors. First of all, there's Hitman Industries. If you are looking for a pistol length barrel or you're looking for a rifle length barrel, the place to go to is Hitman Industries. If you purchase an AR in the last few years, chances are you already have one of their barrels, so you know how good they are. So why not do a rebuild? Why not do a whole new build? Why not just rebarrel the rifle that you have? Whatever you decide to do, go to hitmanindustries.net. They'll have exactly what you need. Then there's the California Republican Assembly, referred to as the conscience of the Republican Party in the state of California in particular. I got an annual convention coming up this weekend in Bakersfield, California. Go to their website, cragop.org, and check them out. That's cragop.org. Be a part of California's future today. Then we've got Hog Holsters. If you're looking for a concealed carry or tactical holster, can't think of a better place to send you than hogholsters.com, because not only do you get a quality holster, but you can also get a discount by using the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces. Kind of like it is right up there. And then finally, if you're looking for outdoor gear, hunting gear, tactical gear, whatever you're looking for, trust me, you will find it right there at uscombatgear.com. Veteran owned and operated. They promise fast shipping, great prices, and excellent service. Check them out today. Once again, uscombatgear.com. All right, I thought I had seen it all, but then again, I hadn't, right? I know this one is tripping you out. It's got to be tripping you out because it tripped me out when I first saw it. Now, it's at Breitbart, so I know a lot of people don't like Breitbart because it's not considered quote unquote mainstream news. But I'm telling you, this is solid stuff because this is a press conference right now that was held by the Department of Justice, by the FBI, reporting that they actually had a Chinese police station invading our sovereignty here in the United States. Check out. Here's a brief snippet from their press conference.
2 miles from our office, just across the Brooklyn Bridge, this nondescript office building in the heart of bustling Chinatown in Lower Manhattan has a dark secret. Until several months ago, an entire floor of this building hosted an undeclared police station of the Chinese National Police. Liu Jianwang and Chen Jinping were arrested earlier this morning at their homes in New York City. As alleged, the defendants worked together to establish an overseas police station in Manhattan's Chinatown on behalf of the Fuzhou branch of the Chinese government's National Police Force, the NPS. These defendants did China's bidding in secret while acting under the direction and control of an NPS official in China. Last October, FBI agents conducted a judicially authorized search of the secret police station and interviewed both Liu and Chen and seized their phones. In subsequent interviews with agents, Liu and Chen admitted that they had deleted communications with the NPS official from their phones after learning about the ongoing FBI investigation. As we allege, that is obstruction of justice. The defendants' actions under the direction of the Chinese government are flagrant violations of American sovereignty.
All right, so some of the things that they were engaging in there were things like that, helping Chinese nationals renew their driver's license. But that was like some of the mundane stuff. They were actually acting on behalf of the government to actually go after either people who had left China, and immigrated to the United States and were not interested in going back and were now seeking citizenship here in the United States. They sent people who worked for them to harass those individuals in order to get them to return to China, or some of them were still just Chinese nationals but were here, but to harass them to get them to go back to China, or to go after Chinese or go after American citizens who were sharing or talking about anti-communist or promoting things that were anti, was it CCCP? I mean, folks, this is really bad. This is like, well, once again, this is what happens when you allow such a cozy relationship with a foreign nation, in particular, in this case, an enemy of the United States. They don't care. The Chinese government does not care about the sovereignty of the United States. Heck, they just flew spy balloons over the United States. We just found out that there wasn't just that one, but there were several others that we knew about. There was technology on those balloons that was allowing them to get access to information, and we did absolutely nothing about it. Now, that might have something to do with the fact that our president is compromised by the Chinese, or that his son has received millions of dollars from Chinese companies. But, I don't know, because according to the mainstream media, the Hunter Biden laptop story isn't really a thing. So one wonders why they're able to get away with this. But I will at least you got to give a hats off to our FBI. One has to wonder how long this thing has been operating. But at least, hey, they finally figured it out. They finally rooted it out. Folks, if you have not recognized that the Chinese government is a major competitor, if not enemy, of the United States by now, then you have no idea. You are in for a big, big surprise. Their goal, if you ever get a chance, read the book, The 100-Year Marathon. Their goal is to be the single premier economic power in the world. It started in 1949, and their goal is to be so by 2049. And by all indications, they are ahead of the game. The one area where they are going to have challenges is going to be with their demographics, because they frowned on having girls for so long. Their population is not growing at the rate as is necessary to maintain their socialist style economy, or the socialist style of governmental living. Anyway, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing more and hearing more about this. Once again, several people have been arrested for that, and others for certain coordination and activities there in New York. So once again, I want to give my hats off and want to thank Breitbart for talking about it, because I didn't see anything about it in the New York Times. I didn't see anything about it on ABC or NBC or CBS. It's just the conservative media outlets that are reporting on this. All right, moving right along. Another Soros-funded DA is under fire in California. And this reporting comes to us from the California Globe. Once again, another phenomenal publication in the state of California that actually has conservative roots and talks about, or at least reports on stuff that you're not hearing about from other folks. Now, the DA in question is for the county of Alameda. And what has happened with this, her name is DA Pamela Price. She was just recently elected. And once again, she is a Soros-funded district attorney who ran on, once again, rooting out racism in our criminal justice system. So the reason why she's on the hot seat has to do with a shooting that took place on a freeway, on a freeway known as 580. There were basically gang members who were shooting at gang members in another car. The gang members in the car that was doing the shooting happened to be black, and the victim happened to be Asian. It was a toddler who got caught in the crossfire. They weren't in the car that was either doing the shooting or being shot at. The child got hit with a stray fire. Well, the original DA, the person who was district attorney before her, had sought to go after this individual, right? But the problem was they didn't get reelected. Instead, the voters of Alameda County chose Miss Wokeness. And Miss Wokeness decided that she's, more interested in trying to find a way to punish these individuals without putting them in jail. Let me find the exact statement here that she wrote. Okay, here it is right here. Our office is currently working on a partnership with the Asian Law Caucus to support AAPI victims of violence in ways that open up broader possibilities for healing and non-carceral forms of accountability, as non-carceral meaning eschewing jail time in favor of another punishment. Many in the county were immediately up in arms over the suggestion that the three could avoid any prison time. So in other words, what they're saying is, we're not going to send them to jail for shooting this child. We're going to try and find something else in order to address this. Folks, I don't understand. Once again, this is happening in city after city, right? Every place you go where you find a Soros-funded district attorney, this is what is happening. Every time you find someone, if someone starts talking about social justice, if a DA candidate talks more about social justice than justice, they are not fit for the job. Okay? Let's just be clear. If your concern is more about victims of racism than victims of crime, you are unfit for the job. And this lady here in Alameda County, Miss Pamela Price, is wholly unfit for the job. But you know that, once again, it's not anything new. It's a California DA. Anyway, there are now talks of her being removed from office, of folks going after her. You know what's even sadder is that if we had gotten a Republican governor here in California, that governor could have sought to have her removed from office. But now it's got to be the people. It's happened once. Unfortunately, Los Angeles was not able to remove Gascon from office. But folks, I'm serious. Folks, do you care more? Do these DAs care more about criminals of color than they do of crime victims of color? Because I promise you, even if this child had been black and not Asian, they still would feel the same exact way. She still would feel the same exact way. Keep in mind that the people who are committing these crimes, most of their victims are people of color. And we have to ask ourselves, are we more about criminals, supporting and protecting criminals, or are we more about protecting the innocent, the victims of those criminals? Clearly, she's made her case that she's more about protecting the criminals. All right, next. For those of you who did not know, there was the NRA convention last week, and unfortunately, I was not able to go. But at the NRA convention, there were a number of Republican candidates who were there, and they were touting their bona fides as Second Amendment candidates. You have former President Donald Trump and a slate of other GOP names repeated their familiar party positions on gun policy, with some attempting to address the recent mass shooting that has rocked the nation. Here, I'll just read a little bit of it here to you. By the way, this is a U.S. News and World Report. It says Republican presidential candidates and those weighing White House bids addressed their base at the National Rifle Association's annual meeting on Friday, testing their sales pitches on the most receptive audience while burnishing their Second Amendment credentials. Now, folks, here's what I will say about the candidates brandishing their Second Amendment credentials. A lot of people believe that just because they have an R after their name, that means that they are pro-Second Amendment. That's not the case. If you are not advancing or doing things to protect the Second Amendment, you are not pro-Second Amendment. Now, if you are not pushing bills or promoting bills or supporting bills that are that restrict our rights, I can say you're not anti-2A or you're not anti-gun. But being pro-Second Amendment means you actually have to be advancing policy. So if you're not doing, for example, as Ron DeSantis has done in signing, and bringing in, signing constitutional carry or promoting constitutional carry, then you're not really pro-gun. The one thing that I will give President Donald Trump, while I have issues with him on, what was his statement? It was, great, take the guns first, due process second. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I also have a problem with his position on bump stocks. And he was also potentially looking at suppressors. I had problems with all that. Having said that, he did probably what was the most important thing that you would want a president to do, and that is he appointed 3 solidly pro-Second Amendment justices to the Supreme Court. So it's hard. He ain't perfect, but it's hard to have a problem with him. But Once again, Ron DeSantis, once again, solidly pro-Second Amendment in the things that he's done and the justices that he has appointed there in Florida. Once again, other hopefuls were there. But I think, once again, I think the second tier of candidates, first there's Donald Trump, then there's Ron DeSantis, and then all the rest are distant third. Anyway, they were all there. If you go to U.S. News and World Report, you can check out what they had to say on their support for the Second Amendment. And then finally, back to our good friend, Mr. Musk, Mr. Elon Musk. It has been reported that where is it at here? Yes, right here. So Elon Musk has basically said that, and he released this information. This was an interview that he did. I read this at the Sacramento Bee. It was actually originally reported at The Hill. He claimed that the U.S. government had full access to private Twitter DMs. Now, these are communications that are supposed to be 100% completely protected. Here it says Twitter CEO Elon Musk claimed in an interview that the U.S. government has full access to users' private direct messages, saying knowing that information blew his mind. In an excerpt of his Fox News interview with host Tucker Carlson, Musk told Carlson that he was shocked to find out about government's ability to read users' direct messages on his platform. The degree to which the government agencies effectively had full access, I like that, had full access to everything that was going on Twitter, blew my mind. Musk, who recently founded an artificial intelligence company called XAI, told Carlson in the interview set to air on Tuesday. Oh, that would be tomorrow. I was not aware of that. Would that include people's DMs? Carlson asked Musk. Yes, Carlson replied. This just goes to show you how in bed this company at least was with government and government agencies in terms of violating your privacy, in terms of collusion to promote censorship, and don't be disillusioned or don't be fooled into thinking that they were the only ones. Let me just put it to you that way. Don't be fooled into thinking once again that they were the only ones, because I can pretty much guarantee you they were not. I feel pretty confident they were not. Anyway. All right, and on that note, that brings us around to our parting shots, brought to you by Hog Holsters. You can get your Hog Holster today. Just go to hogholster.com. Use your discount code, The Rundown. All caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. All right, this first one, this is another Bidenism. So just in case you're wondering about the fitness of our president, let there be no doubt, he is unfit.
Tim Ryan in Ohio said he doesn't want you there. Warnock said wouldn't say. Do you think they're making a mistake?
No, there are 16 there I've already gone in for yet, and a lot more are asked. Another 20 or so. I'm going to be going in.
I don't know what the
All right, if you can translate, maybe he was speaking in tongues. So if any of you out there can translate, please do. Because, once again, the mainstream media is not reporting on any. They're not talking about any of this stuff. This guy is clearly not in a position where he can communicate. But, and by the way, I don't know if that was doctored or not. But it very possibly was. But then again, here's the sad part. It very possibly could have really been him trying to communicate. Sad, I know, but it is a possibility. And the fact that the media is not talking about any of this, well, that then just gives way to this particular meme, where you have 3 dogs in line, each one smelling each other's butt. And it says it is scientific fact that dogs get more information sniffing butts than humans get listening to the mainstream media. Ain't that true? Ain't that true? Yes, it is in fact true. Because, well, if you did, they would also be reporting on hypocrisies like this one. This is Representative Jerry Nadler. On the first one, you have July 27th, 2020. Representative Jerry Nadler calls violence from Antifa in Portland a myth, right? Same guy, April 15th, 2023. Congressman Jerry Nadler, rising NYC crime, only an illusion. So this is a guy who, well, how do I want to put this? When it's his constituents that are the ones committing the crimes, he doesn't see it. He reminds me of Sergeant Schultz from from Hogan's Heroes. I see nothing. I know nothing. I know, sad but true, folks. But that does happen to be Representative Nadler. All right, that's going to be it for today. But before we go, let's give a second shout out to our sponsors. You got Hitman Industries. You'll find them at hitmanindustries.net. Rifle and pistol length barrels available to you. You have the California Republican Assembly. Find them at cragop.org. Be a part of California's future today. Hog holsters. Make sure you use your discount code, The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your hog holster today. And finally, whatever type of gear you are looking for, outdoor gear, tactical gear, cold gear, warm gear, whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at uscombatgear.com. And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program. We'll be back tomorrow on Taco Tuesday. Y'all take care.